In this video, we will be solving some CBSE question papers of chapter Organization of Data, year 2024-25. Here we have the 10 questions from CBSE 2024-25. The first question is define frequency distribution. The second question is distinguish between quantitative and qualitative classification, discrete and continuous variables. Question 3 is what is meant by classifications of data. Question 4 is state any two objectives of organizing data. Question 5 is prepare a frequency distribution table from the following data. Here the data are given here, so we will have to do the frequency distribution table. The data are 12, 15, 18, 20, 15, 20, 12, 22, 25, 18 and 20. Now question number 6 is explain the components of a statistical table. Question 7 is distinguish between raw data and grouped data. The B part is distinguish between inclusive and exclusive series. Question 8 is construct a table showing marks obtained by students in 5 subjects. Question 9 is what is tabulation? Why is tabulation important in statistics? And last question is what are the limitations of classifications? So you can just solve it yourself, or I'll be explaining it in the next slides, all the questions. The first answer will be frequency distribution is the arrangement or a table that shows the number of times every value occurs in a data set. In the example we have like here in the below table, it is seen that the average marks of the students is arranged as per the roll numbers of the students in the frequency distribution table. So here we will find in table number 1 that the students roll numbers from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30 are given, and their average marks obtained are 78, 89 and 87. So this is the frequency distribution table presented. Now for the next answer, which is distinguish between qualitative and quantitative classifications, we have qualitative classifications. Classification is done based on attributes, and for quantitative it is done based on numerical values. Now next, what is it? The data is non-numerical in case of qualitative because it is for attributes or characteristics, and for quantitative it is what? Data is measurable and numerical. Next one is what? Descriptive in nature. Qualitative classification is descriptive, while in quantitative it is numerical in nature. The fourth difference is what? It is that the qualitative classification cannot be quantified in numbers directly, while the quantitative classification, they can be quantified as they are measurable and they are counted. So they can be quantified in numbers. Now the examples for qualitative classification, they are gender, religion, etc. And for quantitative classification, the one which we can count, which are age, income, height, weight, anything which we can count are the quantitative classifications of data. Now we come to the second part of answer 2, which is distinguish between discrete and continuous variables. So discrete variables, what? They are the variables that can take only certain or separate values, and for continuous variables, they are the variables that can take any value within the range. Next one is what? The discrete variables are countable or measurable, and they are normally whole numbers, while for continuous variables, they are measurable values that includes fractions and decimals also along with the whole numbers. Now for the discrete variables, what is it? It is clear gaps are present between the values, while in continuous variables, because from the name we know that it is in continuity, so there are no gaps between the values. So the examples for discrete variables can be number of students, tables, chairs, cars, books, while for the continuous variables it can be height, weight, temperature. So these are the differences or the distinguishing factors or the distinguishing points of discrete and continuous variables. Now for answer 3, what is classification of data? So classification of data, it refers to arranging of the raw data into different groups or classes as per the similar or the common characteristics. So this is what do we mean by the classification of data. Now we come to answer number 4, which is what are the objectives of classifying data. So the answer will be the objectives of classifying data from raw data is the first objective is what? It is simplifying of the complex data into understandable classification for analysis and decision making in statistics. And what is the second objective? The objective of classifying data is to facilitate in easy comparison, which saves time and effort. So these are the two objectives of classifying data from raw data. Now, what is the next answer 5, which is represented in table 4? So here the data are given and the frequency table is drawn here. So the numbers or the data are presented in the left hand side of the table, and on the right hand side of the table the number of occurrence or the frequency of the data values are presented. So 12 occurs 2 times, 15 occurs 2 times, 18 occurs 2 times, 20 occurs 2 times, 22 occurs 1 time, 25 occur 1 time. So these are the numbers and the frequency presented in the frequency distribution table in table 4. Now we come to answer 6, which says what are the components of a statistical table. So here we have drawn this smart art. So here we find the components of a statistical table are what? They are the table numbers, the title, the head note, the caption or the column headings, the stubs or the row headings, the body, the footnote, and the source note. So these are all the components of a statistical table. The next answer, which is answer 7A, what is it? It is distinguished between raw data and group data. So raw data is what? The data collected in raw or unorganized form without any classification. So these are raw data. And for group data, data when it is arranged into clear classes, categories, or groups, these are group data. Next, what is it? The arrangement of data is unorganized in case of raw data, while in group data, data is systematically organized. Next one is what? The suitable for small sets of data. So raw data can be suitable or only suitable for small set of data, while group data is suitable for large data sets. The next one is what? For raw data, it is difficult to analyze it directly, while for group data, it is easier to analyze. The examples of raw data can be 12, 40, 54, so all the independent numbers, so which is not grouped. Now for group data, what is it like when we just classify it like 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 50 to 60. So this way, if we classify the data or the group data, so it is called the classified or the grouped data. Now we come to answer 7B, which is distinguished between inclusive series and exclusive series. So inclusive series are what? Here both upper class limits and lower class limits are included in the class, in the same class. While in the exclusive series, upper class limits are excluded from the class. Next one is what? In inclusive series, it is continuous naturally, while in exclusive series, the series are continuous naturally. While in inclusive series, it is not continuous naturally, while in exclusive series, the series are continuous naturally. Next one is what? Inclusive series are mostly for discrete data. That means certain data or separate data. While in exclusive series, they are mostly for continuous data. Now, the next one is what? The inclusive series are possible. There are possible continuous at boundaries, while in exclusive series, no overlap between the boundaries is possible. And the examples for inclusive series are what? 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39. So there is a gap between the classes. So here, these are the examples of inclusive series. While in exclusive series, it is what? 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. So there are no gaps between the classes. So in this way, we distinguish the two. The next answer is what? We will have to draw the table, or we'll have to frame the statistical table where we have the names of the students and the marks obtained in 5 subjects. So in this way, we draw the table for the student's name and the subjects and their total, like the total calculated for all the 5 subjects are given. So in this way, we do the table. The next answer is like for the question, why is tabulation important in statistics? So tabulation is important in statistics because first one is what? It simplifies complex data and makes it easier to understand and analyze. Next, Why is it important is what? Helps in faster comparison of data. Next one is what? Facilitates calculations and interpretations of data. Next is what? It improves clarity by bringing clear, readable data in table form. And the next one is what? Reveals the patterns and trends to show the relationship among the data. And the last one is what? Why is it important? Useful for faster decision making in statistical analysis. So we know that these are the points why tabulation is important in statistics. Now we come to the last question's answer, which is what are the limitations of classifications of data? So what are the limitations? The first one is what? There is loss of the detailed information when the data are classified from the raw data. The next limitation is what? There can be possibility that the classification done from the raw data is not correct. The third one limitation is what? The classification of data are not suitable for all types of data, and it also consumes effort and time. So, and the next limitation is what? There may be risks and biases in the process of classification of data from raw data. And the last limitation is what? Oversimplifying of the data can hide important information. So these are the limitations of classifications of data. So we have done with all the 10 questions from CBSE 2024-25. Hope you enjoy this learning. Thank you.